Hey, good mornings, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and early 6 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Oh, okay. I'm going to have about 4 stories down below, 4 links that I'm going to talk about. Some of the stuff that's come up in the news to dealing with the pandemic that just blows my mind. I try not to use my best friend, my ex-girlfriend that I just lost on August 5th. I try not to use her as an example, but a couple of the recent stories that have come out in the media directly relating to what happened to her, how it happened, her way of thinking, and it couldn't be any more obvious, any more proof that what these stories are saying are true. All right, let me get right into this. Another thing too, for my detractors, there's always a couple. I always see. Oh, by the way, YouTube for some reason got rid of the thumbs down thing. I noticed that, not just my channel, but on all the channels. No more counting the dislikes. Interesting, but I always used to notice, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you, putting a thumbs down. I could say, hey, it's a great sunny day, and I get like 4 thumbs down. No, Daryl, it's not. I want to talk to you guys. I need to get you guys' opinion. I might as well start here. Marjorie Taylor Greene, her recent tweet, I believe it was a tweet, talking about cancer and saying how there wasn't businesses shut down and schools shut down over cancer. This is really simple. I just need it. How do you defend that? That's ridiculous. That's just, obviously cancer is non-transmissible. A lot of times I feel these stories personally. Like I said, I lost Audrey, and I'll talk about her and that whole thing in a second. And I lost my father from terminal brain cancer when I was 9 years old. And, and when I hear some of this misinformation, it just... my head's gonna explode. So you guys, let me know. This one's simple. Just how do you defend Marjorie Taylor Greene and her comparing shutting down businesses and schools, and her saying that, well, they didn't do that when cancer. Wow. All right. Matt Gaetz. I got to be careful how I say this because I don't want the YouTube algorithms picking it up and thinking that I am putting out misinformation. This is the one that kind of relates to Audrey. There's 2 stories. This one, where Matt Gaetz just comes out, just complete 100% misinformation, and talks about coming down with something and natural immunity, that it's somehow better, which is misinformation and wrong. I want to talk about that and Audrey, my ex that I lost, and also this other story that I'm going to have to link down to below. The red states, now that they've added up the numbers, your chances of being hospitalized or passing away from COVID are, I don't know, I think it said 50 times greater in the red states than in the blue states. Seriously. I'll put the link down to that below. It's not just one story, it's several stories. Oh, and there's also been a lot of stories on how the N95, N95 masks actually do work. I'll put all these links down below. Anyway, getting back to Audrey. I sat down with her. I've talked about this before. My ex-girlfriend, best friend, we had broken up, but we were still best friends. Just before she left for Jacksonville, Florida, in June, we sat down and talked on the couch. And she said how she didn't really trust vaccines. She mentioned how people in her family had gotten it. And, and she was going to let the chips fall where they may. She didn't really trust it. And the people in her family got it and recovered. And she had even mentioned specifically Donald Trump getting it and recovering. And so this was her way of thinking, her avenue. See, right about then is when the whole Delta thing was making an increase. She didn't know this at the time, but just as we were sitting on that couch in June, the Jacksonville area was becoming just like a ground zero for Delta, the Delta variant. And looking back, it kills me that I wish I could have said something or did something, the what ifs. So she had the mindset that Matt Gaetz is still pushing, this thing about natural immunity. And she really believed this. She was a Trump supporter, Republican, and she's gone now. And like I said, this directly relates to the other story I was talking about, how your chances of passing away from this are several times greater in the states that voted for Donald Trump than in the states that voted for Joe Biden. I know it almost sounds it sounds like such a politically charged thing to say, but it's the truth. If you look at they've actually studied this, and it's the truth. I'll put the links down below. And these are the stories that I want to talk about. Like I said, they directly relate to me, and I would love to hear my detractors, the people that still watch, the people that watch my channel, the ones that are always giving me the perpetual thumbs down, especially the Marjorie Taylor Greene one. How do you defend that? Am I misunderstanding something? The whole cancer thing? Do you guys support what she said? Do you defend it? Is there a reason? Is there something I'm missing? I'm dying to know. And the same thing with Matt Gaetz. This whole thing about natural immunity. And it's flat out disinformation. And stuff like this is what led to me losing my best friend, an ex-girlfriend, and a Trump supporter in a Trump supporting state. Just like these articles say, just like Trump supporters are still screaming, fake news, but it's not fake news because I see it with my own eyes. I sat there and heard it and saw it with my own eyes. Let me know what you think. All right, the links will all be down below. You guys have a great Tuesday.